Good evening, welcome to Friday the 13th of September. Time for another live at 5 from Raw, Crompton and Royton Golf Club. Weather's been wet as a bath again for the majority of this last week. Course has held up really well though. There's a few puddles in places as you'd expect, but I'm sure there's a massive flake under here that takes it all. So let's kick off tonight's video here at the 6th green, and it's perfect that we've got the conditions has given us this big puddle in the middle of it, because it leads us on to what I'm going to talk to you about is squeegeeing the greens, how to do it properly. Now this green especially has got a drain in the middle of it. The lads put it in a couple of years ago. If I can wade myself through here, you can see that it is a little bit blocked with leaves and grass clippings and stuff like that, so this is why this puddle isn't going anywhere. So if you come across the 6th green and you see a bit of a puddle here, if everyone can just clear it, just stick the finger in the hole at the end of a golf club and you'll see the water start to whirl in a whirlpool and drain away. That will take about 5 minutes to clear that. This drain works really, really well. So as that's clearing, everybody who plays these troublesome greens like the 4th, the 6th, the 11th, 13 and 17, we have now new squeegees on each one of these holes which are going to be left out as a permanent thing. So there's no need to be ringing the shop for me to come and go and get some squeegees, because now everything's going to be left out for everybody to do it their own little bit. And if everybody does their own little bit of squeegeeing, we're talking 30 seconds per group, then that goes a long way to getting all the groups around the golf course. See that hole now sucking that water down and through. They're saying about 5 minutes that'll clear off, and we'll be able to squeegee the rest of it towards the low part of the green, which will enable play to continue. So lads on the greens have been under the pump a little bit last few weeks due to staff holidays and other shortages, but they've done really well out in the course. Definition's still there. New rough cut has arrived as well yesterday, so I think Scott's setting that up as we speak, so he should be able to get out and give all the deep rough a bit of a trim, especially in between the trees. You probably notice as you play this weekend and next week that the bunkers have been tidied, all the weeds have been taken away and the edges have been trimmed. Obviously with the blustery weather there's going to be a few leaves and debris floating about the golf course, but you've got to expect that, especially this time of year. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping again going forward. We've had a little bit of feedback on the condition of the holes on our greens of late, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it as to how we can improve it, the processes and so forth. We have had new hole cups on order that have been, I think they've been on order for about 6 months now, something like that, but the suppliers cannot get them to us. Apparently they're just out of stock of the hole cups that we need for the size of our flags, which we've got. So we're actually carrying on with the ones that we've got for now, but because of that you can see there's a little bit of movement in each hole. The flag's leaning to one side or the other, and they're getting quite worn, so they're in need of repair or replacement. But some housekeeping what we can do moving forward. We all know about the new rule that came in earlier on in the year about putting with the flag in. As a greens committee, we've been requested to ask you to try and remove the flag whenever you can to putt. Obviously if it's a distance putt you're allowed to move it in, but if your ball's sort of close to the hole like this one here, your playing partners are around, well just quickly lift the flag out where you tap it in the hole. Now what that stops is bad practices like pulling the flag out with the ball in the hole like this, because what happens here is you're pressing the ball all the way across the corner of the cup, and what that does, it destroys the lip and spoils the structure of the hole going forward. So if everybody can take the flag out when they put in, just tap the putt when they tap the putt in, that'll be much appreciated. That's a request from your greens committee. So remove the flag when you get the ball, retrieve the ball from the hole. The best way to get the ball from the hole is obviously with your own hand, or if you've got one of these implements that go on the end of a putter, be very, very careful with placing it in the hole. Make sure you just get the ball and not the edges. Please don't use your putters. Also when retrieving your ball from the hole or tapping in, take care not to stand too far near to the hole's edge, because that also contributes to caving the edges in. So make sure you can stand well away from the hole's edge, bend over and grab the ball out like so. So as just mentioned, the new deck cutters arrived this week, so that'll help Scott and the lads get on with the cutting of the rough. finding the golf course, which is brings us here to the 5th. This is looking pretty good going up the hill here. The bunker that we agreed to put more in the fairway is becoming more apparent and more in play as the fairway comes around both sides of it now. You can see the first cut of the semi is going, missing the bunker by about 10 yards to the left and heading up towards the hill there. So that's bringing this bunker on the 5th more into play in the fairway on the golf course, which is, it looks pretty good. Also a note from the greens team that there is some debris, grass and things like that on the golf course because of the wet weather. The machines can't collect it when it's being cut, so it's just clumping in groups like this on the fairway. So apologies for that, but it will go away over time. Okay, so now on to some results from last week. Mr. President's Day was Saturday. Big day, big field, some cracking scores as well over the 2 rounds. So we'll start with the 3rd place overall. They say there's lots and lots of results, so I'll just give you the overalls tonight. 3rd place overall with a 2-round score of 139 is John Thompson. Well done, John. Runner up for the Presidents was Gary Mellin on a score of 137, and this year's Mr. President's winner on a fine score of 134 is Liam Marshall. Well done, Liam, on your first major. 2s from Saturday were worth a phenomenal 84 quid. Okay, on to Tuesday's medal. Again, 112 competed in Tuesday, so fantastic support of the midweek competition. Thanks everybody. 3rd division winner on a 66 card playoff was Dane Ogden. Well done, Dane. 2nd division winner was Paul Harrison on 68, and division 1 was taken by Mark Sinfield on 67, also a card playoff. 2s were worth 21 quid. And Jeff Boyle won the 9-hole comp with 22 points. 2s for the 9-hole comp has rolled over again, and it's 53 quid rolled over to next Tuesday. Looking ahead to this weekend's golf, tomorrow we've got the Vets Trophy where we find out who's the best of the granddads. That's another board competition, so good luck to everybody involved there. And next Sunday is all finals day, so just a quick batting order from the top. The Dogs finals contested between Andy Simpson, Jack Barnes versus Gary Lamont, Garaz Maznichenko. Highfields between Jim Keogh and James Booth. The mixed, Baz McLaughlin, Jen Kenworthy versus Charlie and Andrea Lowe. The junior knockout, Dan Mellin and Alfie Yearsley. Ladies top dogs, Zoe Styles Val Hall against Emily and Karina, and the ladies Holden Cup is Gail Taylor versus Eddie Owen. So as we know, the weather's turning, very autumnal at present, and it's time to dig out those autumn clothes. If you've not got any, there's plenty new in the shop, such as this Adidas Prime knit sweater here. Very comfy, very lightweight, really breathable as well, good for all conditions. We've got new padded gilets and jackets from Calvin Klein, Under Armour and Adidas. And also next week we have the new range of waterproof suits coming from Druids at only 149 quid per suit, so if you're in need of an update, wait for them to come in the shop next week. 149 quid a suit, fill your boots. So before we sign off for tonight, I just want to brief you on the new World Handicapping System, which is coming into play in January 2020. Now, just to brief you on this, it's developed by the RNA and the USGA, and it's going to come in as an overarching world handicap, so it will replace currently the 6 systems which are in use worldwide at present. In brief, each course will have a rating, so a course rating or a slope rating. That is still yet to be determined per venue. There's going to be a minimum number of scores will count towards obtaining a handicap. One of the biggest changes for me is the social scores. So if you play a social round either in society or out with your pals or whatever, that can also count towards your handicap. There's still a lot of question marks over this, which will be revealed by the English Golf Union in due course. Handicaps also will be calculated from an average of recent scores. So when we turn over to this handicap in January, your last 20 rounds will count towards your handicap, with the best 8 rounds of the last 20 being the mean average. So your handicap would be the mean of your best 8 from your last 20. So that's what will be transferred onto your new handicap. Through the research that's been conducted by the English Golf Union, they estimate that each player may move their handicap, or it may be adjusted within 1 shot of their current handicap. So that's what they're estimating may happen. There's going to be a maximum of 54 handicap as well, and also another another feature of this is abnormal course and weather conditions will contribute towards adjustments. So say we played in an absolute hoolie or a hurricane here, the competitions committee can put an adjustment in for abnormal weather conditions or course conditions to determine what the CCR should be for that day. As I say, that's just a couple of brief pointers on what's going to be happening next year. I'm sure that our handicaps committee will present a lot more information to you in due course about this big change. It's certainly going to be interesting to see whether the changes it's intended to make actually do happen, or whether it will be open to abuse, especially with the parts like social round handicapping and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure myself yet on how that should or will work. But regardless of what I think, or me or you, that is actually happening in January and we've got to embrace this, so just look out for more information from the club and from myself on this blog in due course. So that's it from me for tonight. Have a fantastic golfing weekend, take care, be safe, display wonderful etiquette, and I'll see you next Friday.